Okay, so be prepared to be hated on if you get jacked. So the reason I say that is because, from my experience and like a lot of other people's experience, when you're a jack guy or just like you got muscle, there's gonna be a lot of people who hate on you, men and women. And I think a lot of it stems from their own insecurities they're projecting onto you. Like a prime example of this is like, oh, like you got muscle, like I bet you can't fight, or like bodybuilders, or none of them can fight, or they're soft, and like just crazy weird stuff. Like I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm an athlete, but it's the same. Like they see you're jacked or you got muscle, and it's like they automatically just like call you out on just like a lot of stuff or anything. This is what's gonna happen to you when you get in shape. And the thing is, most guys I know who are like in really good shape or like jacked, they're actually like the most chilled guys I know. And it's always like some like just weird looking skinny dude, a regular guy who's like saying like, oh well, you can't fight, you can't box, or you get whooped by an MMA guy. It's like, well, are you an MMA fighter or are you a boxer? Nah. And I've actually been in the ring, so it's like I have experience in boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I'm a wrestler. And, I know, real like fighters, pro fighters, amateur fighters. Usually those guys aren't talking crazy either. So it's always the guys who are just regular. And it's like they're insecure around you because they feel that, they're scared of you. And it's just a natural like human response. Same thing with women. Women are going to do the same thing. They're going to associate bad things they don't like about you or project their own insecurities on you and then say, oh, it's because, well, you're jacked or you're in shape. That's why, I really wouldn't want to mess with a chick who doesn't work out or who doesn't, take care of her health. Because, a lot of them actually think that working out is, cornball stuff. It's crazy to think about that, but yeah, I've talked to a lot of women who are like, oh, yeah, the working out stuff's for cornballs. It's corny. Taking care of yourself is corny. Which to them it is, because it's not something they can relate to and that they do. That's why if you work out and you're jacked, you really should be surrounding yourself with people who do the same or are trying to do the same. Because you're just going to fuel their insecurities. They're going to be insecure around you. More so men. Not as much women, but women will definitely, show some of those same traits. Like they're going to associate a lot of negativity with you being in shape, which is weird, but and it's not and I don't associate negativity usually with people being out of shape because it's a common thing, But yeah, I mean, there's going to be just a lot of hate. I just know guys who just chirp, talk all this crap, they think just because you got muscle, you can't fight. I remember just that from a very young age. And I've been trained in combat since I was, 8 years old. Yeah, I grew up around a lot of scary dudes too, so it wasn't my life's been sweet. And there's just guys that's just always chirping oh, yeah, you got all the muscle, I know you can't fight. It's well, whatever. I trained day in and day out for years. So I'm always ready. But I'm never the guy who's oh, I'll beat you up, bro. I'm just I'm so much in better shape. I'm bigger than you. It's that's just corny. And the same way I say that's corny is the same way you sound when you're saying, oh, well, he's big, he's a bodybuilder, he can't fight, this and that. It's whole time, that guy's a crazy athlete. C-Bum, for example. He's a big dude. I wouldn't want to fight him. Not saying I'm if he tested me, I wouldn't, but it's if you're an average guy who sits around, goes out and drinks every weekend, smokes weed 3 to 4 times a week, eats whatever, couch potato chips, McDonald's multiple times a week, and you think because you have less muscle mass than C-Bum, you're going to knock him out, or just be in any type of realm of competitiveness with him in any physical aspect. And I'm pretty sure he can dunk a basketball too, and he's just a big dude. You don't want to fight big dude. It's just hard to do. You think you're gonna have a chance against him, and again, he is an athlete, whether you like it or not. It's bro, you're a clown. And it's first off, if that kid gets his hands on you, it's like, okay, yeah, you're screwed. Unless you're a wrestler like me and you know how to deal with that. Second, I guarantee he can throw, a solid punch just like you. And do you train your punches every day? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, I don't know. But the fact you think you stand a chance against him is crazy. And when people say, yeah, guys overestimate their fighting ability by 7,000%, yes, I 100% believe that. Because I've been in the ring and boxed, like my homeboys who weighed like 160, 170, and I'm like 210, 200. And they were schooling me, not necessarily like knocking me out or nothing, but they just had better technique and like they were like dodging and weaving, ducking my punches and stuff. And then like I'd get hit by them, but like it didn't hurt me as much because I was bigger than them. But they were definitely better fighters than me by a long shot. And it's like, you guys aren't those guys. And when I went against guys who were like heavyweights, that's when it was like, okay, those guys with skills, those guys are dangerous. They were big dudes. So it's like, you guys, you're overestimating your abilities by a lot. And just like, whenever you're with like people, it's like they're always going to associate negativity with your you being in shape. Like, it's weird. They're projecting, I think. Women too. They're always going to, project their insecurities onto you. Or the things they dealt with men in the past who weren't maybe in shape. Those same things are going to apply to you and say, oh, well, because he's in shape, he has these things. It's just more projection. It's just weird. That's why, like I said, you want to surround yourself with people who are similar to you. Or same thing with women. Like, if your woman doesn't, like, take care of herself and work out, you working out and taking care of yourself will always be a problem for her. She doesn't understand it. And she thinks it's more than what it is. Like, to me, working out and, like, taking care of myself isn't, like, it's a serious ordeal, but it's not as serious as you guys think I'm serious about it, if that makes sense. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, I'll never eat a scoop of ice cream or something crazy like that, which, like, a lot of women think about guys who are in shape like me, like, oh, I'm just, like, super strict. That's not how it is. And they're just going to assume, like, negativity, like, oh, that's cornball behavior. It's like, I think cornball behavior is a dude who's just, like, laying there letting himself rot and waste away, which is like most guys, like, they're letting themselves rot, waste away, jerking their life force away, just the regular stuff. And then the average person, like I said, they think that's cornball activity, but in reality, they're the cornball. A lot of times, if you call too much out, I think this is a saying, one of my grandparents, I think, might have told me this, like, when you point your finger, there's 3 pointing back at you. So a lot of times you're doing the calling out, or you're calling the stuff corny, and you're saying, oh, cornball, but the whole time you're the cornball. Like, that's why you see everything as corny, because, okay, you're the cornball. Like, everything else isn't corny, you're actually the one who's corny. You're projecting all that insecurity onto other people around you. That's why I said I don't necessarily see, the guys who are, not in shape or just, not living my lifestyle as corny. It's just they haven't found that path yet, or they're not ready for it yet. That's all. Like, it's not that, I'm like, oh, you're lame for not working out, or you're lame for not eating right. It's like, no, that's stupid. That would be lame for me to say that. It's, just not, that guy hasn't found that yet. Same way it's lame for somebody to say, oh, well, you like to work out so much. It's like, or it's like a red flag that I work out. I'm like, bro, what? Taking care of yourself is a red flag. And people don't, just because somebody, like, works out, it's not as big of a part of their life as you think it is. That goes with everything. Like, because, I'm an athlete. Some people think, like, that's, like, 100% of my day. If you actually hung out with me or around me, it's like, you'd actually think that I didn't care about working out or wrestling. If you, like, hung out with me for 24 hours and were just, like, right next to me, you'd think, like, okay, this is, like, a hobby for this guy. This is, like, a side thing. Working out, whatever it is, you think 100% takes some of my time. It's like, that's what you see on social media. That's what you see when you perceive me. But in reality, there's so much other stuff that guy does or I do. Like, even like C-Bum, I keep bringing him up, but I guarantee after he's done working out and like making his videos and stuff, there's so many other things he's doing in his day that you'd be like, bodybuilding is like, might be the least of his worry, which that's not true, but if you actually like watched his life, you'd probably think that, because he has so much other stuff to do. Like, he's got a wife and kids, you know, he runs a business. Like, when you think about it, that 2 or 3 hour workout of his day, that's only like 2 or 3 hours. The other, 20 hours, he's doing other stuff, just like, me and other people. So, I mean, it's just like really just time management. I'd say people who are in shape or who are doing something really good, they're just better at managing their time and putting in hours, of their day towards that, and then they can focus on other stuff throughout their life. And you just can't fathom how they do that yet. Like, you got to figure that out for yourself, or how you can do that. That's why it's like I said, it's like corny if you think that, God, this is like this guy's 100% life. Like, I'm working out 12 hours a day. It's like, no, that's not even optimal to do that. You work out too much, you actually lose your gains. You need, rest, you need recovery. And you can only gain so much muscle and, get in good enough shape from your workout. If you're working out for like 4 or 5 hours, it's like you're actually probably getting negative returns on that. So, yeah, I mean, I was just like yapping, but real spill, I think. Plus, got the buzz cut. So, winter arc, Nah, we don't do the winter arc stuff. We do this year round. So, yeah, no, I think it looks clean though. But